Cipher is basically this automatic beat maker that we built, and we allow people to just rap right over these pre-made beats in the app, and we're trying to repackage it as sort of collectible hip hop, this minimum viable rap. So it's this proof of work DApp that just allows you to monetize your flow. We kind of describe it as capturing lightning in a bottle.
Thanks for everyone for staying on for this session. So Garett and I are going to have a nice chat about what he's actually building now, coming from the nice panel we had with all these great music experts. So Garett, we already had a chat about music being a broken industry. We all know that. We've all experienced that for the past, 20 something years. They tried to take down a lot of things. They tried to take down torrents. They didn't happen. They tried to take down like bootleg CDs. Didn't happen. Now they probably will either collaborate or try to take down NFTs. So we're introducing new tech standards. We're introducing emerging technology that's enabling people to better tell their story through NFTs and social tokens. So our problem is the industry doesn't quite listen, and the users are not extremely invested anymore. At the same time, we have social media and music being driven by that instead of being driven by what artists want to create. Where did we actually go wrong?
Well, I think we kind of went wrong with the shift from ownership to this rental model of streaming. We kind of lost the connection to the music. So we used to take pride in collecting. There's this really very human drive to collect. And so I think we're kind of on this path now, though, with NFTs going from CDs to MP3s to NFTs. This is this new format that can kind of fix that disconnect and create these richer experiences. But like as an industry, it's just kind of been a mess because it's been this cottage industry that cropped up and has a lot of antiquated infrastructure that is really going to be potentially light years behind what smart contracts and NFTs can do. So this could be really a pivotal watershed moment for the industry. And it's encouraging that they're paying attention. This isn't like a falling asleep at the wheel Napster moment, like at the turn of the millennium where, record labels lost their tails because they weren't paying attention to the shifts going on. And it took Apple to kind of resurrect ownership of music with MP3s in the App Store or the iTunes Store. So yeah, I think that disconnect though in owning music and making it tangible again through NFTs is kind of powerful. That can help remedy that though.
Yeah. Tell us more about Cipher. If you have some slides, bring them on. But yeah, tell us more about what you're building with Cipher.
Yeah, so Cipher is basically this automatic beat maker that we built, and we allow people to just rap right over these pre-made beats in the app, and we're trying to repackage it as sort of collectible hip hop, this minimum viable rap. So it's this proof of work DApp that just allows you to monetize your flow. We kind of describe it as capturing lightning in a bottle. If you've ever been in a cipher, a group, a circle of just street poets rapping, riffing on the world around them, the like potent excitement that comes with that off the top extemporaneous, rapping, just what it is. So we're trying to kind of capture the essence of that in this app that just allows people to monetize their flow, like I said. So it's been a hell of a journey. We're having a really fun time with the project though, and it's been great being an outlier, just kind of helping us shepherd us along. And we're about to gear up for mainnet launch and stuff we're super excited about. So yeah, that's just a little bit about what we're working on though.
Cool, that's great to hear. And then, we're all seeing that you're building something meaningful here to inflict change on an industry that's really hip at the front, but yet at the back it's quite outdated. Why did you choose to do this? What made you get into music? What made you get into NFTs?
Yeah, so I just became kind of hell-bent on this vision for Cipher after just hanging out with friends freestyling. I kind of grew up all skate or die back in the day, just freestyling with my crew and stuff. And so I just thought about what could be possible by layering Web3 technology onto an app that allows you to unleash your creativity. You know, that's what we were really trying to do. And the more and more we dug under the hood, the more the opportunity crystallized that this is an industry that's actually kind of rife for some disruption in that respect. So I think there's tons of improvement for artists and putting the power back in the hands of artists. And so that's just kind of been this tailwind that's been giving us a lot of encouragement that we're on the right track, kind of helping them capture more value that they create instead of having all these middlemen along the line that take so much of a cut.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting story. Like, what's your personal story of getting into it though? Like,
yeah, my personal story of getting into it. Yeah,
yep.
it really just, I mean, the idea was a spark. I was just oh, sorry, I'm getting some feedback there. So yeah, I was just kind of describing the inception of the idea was just hanging out with friends playing video games. Like, man, what if we could build like a freestyle rap battle on chain like governance platform? We were just dreaming really big about what could be with this, and so we just sort of dialed it in and figured that, you know, I'm passionate about hip hop. I've always kind of grown up with that in my arsenal of music, and it just kind of came together. I knew I was getting into crypto by hook or by crook, and this was just the obvious vector to do it. To me, it just became very clear that this was the opportunity to chase after.
Yeah, definitely. That's interesting. That's a good story. I mean, you've had friends in the industry for a long time now, and you've been following what's going on. So, it's definitely interesting. And then, I guess for the benefit of the audience, we've had a lot of questions around the use case of music specifically. Like, what will be enabled when you win with Cipher? When Cipher is $1 billion network, what will be the difference to the end user? How would the world look at this new set of tooling and say, wow, they really made a change?
Yeah, I think success for us is really just having a more concrete way to have artists have more control over their own destiny. You know, we want to kind of further democratize the creation of music, you know, and enable us to find signal amongst the noise and find diamonds in the rough and get those voices heard, get them out there and rewarded for those creations upfront versus pennies for streams. You know, so we kind of like described it as, yeah, front loading that value capture and bootstrapping, kickstarting that value capture instead of that long-term goal of making it, because frankly, there's so much content now, and there are a ton of talented people out there that the notion of making it in the industry is sort of shifting. And you can make money though, by finding your tribe. And so we want to help people find their tribe, even if it doesn't mean that they're multi, you know, platinum stars or something. There doesn't need to be a zero-sum game for music. So that's what we want to do, is sort of change that and flatten it out some.
Cool. That's great. I mean, definitely, hopefully not, it's not just a single company making the difference. It will be an entire set of companies. Like, you were together in the cohort with a couple of music companies, so hopefully together you can actually bring a lot of change to the industry. But it's quite interesting to hear like your point of view for Cipher. And then how do you actually think about the monetization of beats and eventually the remonetization of all these beats by fans? Like, there will be some challenges and dilemmas. Monetization is currently pretty much a black box that very few independent people actually understand. Like, how do you change that? Like, are you focused more on the building side of things, or are you also providing education for these artists?
Yeah, I think, you know, as like a buyer of collectible hip hop, you're not just supporting artists' work, you're kind of betting on their success now. So that's the real shift, is that it's sort of creating like supercharging super fans, by giving them kind of a stake in the outcome of their trajectory, and having that story of where you were when that artist sort of came up and how you kind of helped bootstrap that career, you know, or just that hit song that is now this remix phenomenon. So there are, I guess, traditional royalties and copyright, it's pretty complex. And I think, you would think it would all come down to education of the artist, but at the end of the day, it's technology that should come in and abstract that complexity away. And that's what we ultimately want to do, is just let creators focus on what they do best, is creating, and sort of simplify that journey of the copyright complexities and things like that. So that's what, ultimately we're hopeful smart contracts will enable us to do, is to bring more transparency to that black box, but simplify it for artists. And we're doing that by kind of ionizing this, content into like these little ciphers, these little singles, and connecting them directly with the fan base.
Cool. Definitely. I mean, as somebody mentioned on in the chat, Cipher is about building a community that support each other, have fun to build some stuff to make some money in the society. So it's great to see how you guys like enable all of these aspects for single artists to actually start doing these things. And I guess it would be quite cheap for new people, like young people joining, like for example, imagine like a 13, 15-year-old starts producing music, first couple of tracks. That'll be pretty cool. And then I'm pretty sure like we have a couple minutes left, so I'm pretty sure everybody here wants to hear what's next for Cipher. Like, what shall we expect from the news headlines related to you guys?
Yeah, so we're, like I mentioned before, we're gearing up for our mainnet launch this week, with some select artists, and we're looking to kind of progressively open up the platform as we dial things in. But yeah, Friday we've got this live metaverse performance in Crypto Voxels, followed by a freestyle rap session, our Discord, over beats out of our Flowbot 5000, our Automagic beatmaker. So it's always a good time. It's about our fourth time doing it, and I've got just a link to our socials if you guys want to follow our journey. Looks like you got it there too. Yeah, we're on the cusp of finally deploying our contract, and it's been just a crazy journey. But yeah, you guys should be seeing some waves hopefully with what we're doing, and yeah, we hope people find value in this creation process, the co-creation that we're ultimately hoping to enable. We've got a laundry list of ideas from the community just from doing these Crypto Voxel parties of some of the possibilities. And as we find product market fit with this collectible hip hop, these Automagic beats and things, we're looking at some other opportunities to connect more of a broader, diverse range of creators to be able to truly embody that notion of a cipher, of like people coming together and beatboxing, freestyling, breakdancing. We want to like encapsulate hip hop culture. So yeah, we're just keep an eye on our Telegrams and Twitters, and yeah, we really are excited to have you guys along for the journey. So thanks so much.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing how big of a community you grew. Like we've been here, we've been together for 12 weeks, like within Basecamp. It's been quite fun. I remember when you first joined, like Cipher was kind of a thing, but it was more of like an idea. And it's quite good to see like now you've basically gone full execution and community building. So you're essentially going back to the roots of hip hop, where it was most about people trying to jam together, and then something comes out of this, and then it's all about the community. It's all about making people have fun around you. So that's really refreshing to see, apart from just trying to like cater to an audience, like a large audience that's large enough that you can make some money. And then obviously on the side you monetize this, so you allow everybody to make money on the chain. So that's pretty cool. Any last words from you?
Yeah, that's I guess all that I can really kind of muster up at this point. Yeah, we're just really stoked to get creatives coming out of the woodwork, and like I said, capturing lightning in a bottle. So yeah, definitely check out our links and stuff. Thanks so much for having us, and I guess that's all I got.
Cool. Thanks for joining us today, everyone, in the session and in the chat. Thanks for being so active. If you've got anything, if you want to follow Cipher, if you want to follow Garett, open the link tree that we have in the chat above. Follow us, Outlier Ventures, with all these base camps. We do this quite a few times a year, and we're always working with people like Garett, very positive, building really good stuff and making a change. As I mentioned earlier in the chat, we're here for a long time and a very good time, so we're here to make a change. It'll be quite, like, next session is going to be moderated by our partner Rumi, and it's going to be all about the future of the attention economy. So please stay tuned and stay on. Thanks, Garett.